Yeah, obvious, we got a problem here. And it's more than just Alvin streaming Punisher. When life begins to suck, who's reporting it? Luckily, you got two friends who you won't forget. Coming live, Alvin and friend on survival. Laughing non-stop, case drops on a cycle. Louder than intrusive thoughts off an iPhone. How they make the world seem bright with the lights off? AFs, it might as well stay up. Lies being told like that dinosaur BS. Magnifying glass to the ground if they don't see us. Having the time, roasting your favorite pizza. Bougie ain't an option, it's the way. Take it to the grave, add moving to the place. You already know when they take the case. Laugh the pain away, it's affirmative murder.
Mini-sodes. Hello, folks, and welcome to an Affirmative Murder mini-sode on this beautiful Monday. What's that? Monday. Oh, yeah. Does it sound a little bit different? Oh yeah, I wonder why. That's because Fran and I have an announcement to make. We will now be switching mini-sodes and our regular episodes and doing what's that movie with Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan, Fran? You know it.
Opposites Attract.
Opposites Attract, starring Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan. You know it, brother. We're going to be doing a little Opposites Attract here and switching Thursday to Monday, Monday to Thursday. So our regular episodes will now be dropping on Thursday. Our mini-sodes will now be dropping on Monday. Why, you ask? Why, you ask, Alvin? Why, you ask, Fran? Yes, I will give you the answer right now, listener. It is because Fran and I are busy peeps. And on the weekends, you know, when you finish a nice weekend and we record on Sundays a little bit behind baseball, it's hard to do the turnaround when you got to get up and go to work. We still got day jobs, man. So it's harder to do the turnaround, and, you know, we want to enjoy our days. So now we can still record on the days we do, but we get a little bit more time to stretch it out and get to editing. And it's not so, 24-hour turnaround, pressurized, all this type of stuff. So it just kind of takes a little bit of pressure off the faucet. It does give you guys a little bit behind baseball. But of course, we didn't want to just spring the announcement on you without giving you some entertainment, of course. So we're doing it in a fun way and announcing it while doing a mini-sode. So yeah, it's Monday, and prepare to hear great stories and interesting stories and cases from, stories that don't get a lot of attention on Thursdays now. Fran, how do you feel about this move, this change? And of course, Fran was just joking. He's being a little facetious, Fran. And he knows that the movie is called Freaky
Fridays.
Freaky Fridays. Yeah. Yes, you know it. Yeah. So, Fran, how you feeling? How you feeling about this Freaky Fridays switch?
I like it, man. I think people should be able to understand and realize that, hey, we like to enjoy our weekends too. Sometimes we have to cut our weekend a little early. We enjoy it, but we got to cut a little early because we got to go, hey, man, what's your day looking like? And then we kind of got to on the go, trying to find a
3-hour block.
Yeah, and try to rush it in. Then unfortunately for you, you got to edit,
I'm in the lab. I'm doing Minority Report, pulling this audio. Fran, when he goes on his rants about how he hates people that like horses, I got to cut that out, and because we don't want to get canceled by the equestrian community. Yeah. I'm constantly saving Fran from the world of cancellation.
Yeah.
He went on a whole thing about how Buzz Lightyear is actually a Nazi one time. It was a whole thing.
I've never said that. Never.
Well, the world never heard you say it.
Never said that
because I saved you. So, but don't worry about it.
Hey, man, it's some shit you saved yourself from. So you got.
Oh, that's a fact.
You gonna put me on? If you gonna put me
sir,
on
that's a fact.
You gotta do.
Oh man, that's a fact, man.
Do the same thing.
No, I saved myself on the reg.
Yeah.
I save myself on the reg because sometimes I say some stuff and I'm like, oh yeah, wait, these mics are on.
Yeah, right.
But
that's just the reality of people that want to get into podcasting. It happens. Like the mics are on,
and you got to know your line.
Your brain is just running and saying shit, and then it's like,
yep.
Oh, you got to oh wait, I can't say that because that's not.
It is.
And you got to edit it out, and then the world would never know because you never heard it.
Yeah, it's almost therapeutic.
Yeah,
but what is very important is when you are in this world, you got to know your ledge.
That's for sure.
Because you got to know your audience, and you got to know. I don't think they will resonate with that take.
But also some of us slip. It happened to me a couple years ago, and I said something people
sometimes
didn't like, and then it went off the rails, and people were happy.
Listen,
but
Fran, we all been there. Sometimes you're just like, there's nothing wrong with what I just said. Am I right? And then you hear boo, and tomatoes start getting thrown at you and shit. You're like, wait, what? What did I say? So yeah, it's a learning. Everything's life's a lesson.
For sure.
Life's also a highway. Anyway, Fran, let's not waste any more time talking about behind baseball stuff, and let's get into some emails. This first email is from an amazing listener named. Let me see if I can say their name. I don't. And it says B. It just says B. So shout out to B. This is an amazing and poignant email. I don't know. It says we got it a while back, but it's perfect because this week my favorite show just came back on the air. Boy, the new season of Top Boy just hit the streets, man. New food on the way, man. New food on the way. New things on the way. Yeah. We got probably 6 or 8 new episodes of that Top Boy magic, man. That food is hitting the streets ASAP, man. KMT. Anyway, Fran, have you had a chance to divulge and dive into?
I haven't watched that show
Top Boy
since On a Flight to Vegas. That's the last time I've seen that show.
Damn, man, it didn't grab you still.
Not bruv. I'm not.
Damn, that's crazy, man. Yeah, that's such a waste, man, thing to be not watching the Top Boy, man. Still,
but I do love the language. I love the way they talk. I love the with the patois they use.
Of course, man. I was watching it with the man them.
Yeah,
having a great time breaking down the P.
Yeah,
but
there is a show. There is a UK show that I watch. I can't remember the name right now. But it's
you mentioned it.
It reminds me
Lupine?
of No, not that. That's not.
I never watched.
It was a show that reminds me of the old UK show that we used to watch, with the students. They were students.
Oh, the superhero.
The superhero show. What was it? You remember the name of it? Damn it.
My boy Nigel, and not Nigel. Simon, because that one girl was from like Liverpool, which is like Simon, the kid that could go invisible.
Yeah, it was.
And then he learned how to travel through time. Oh man, he was overpowered like a mug. OP, but I can't remember the show. Yeah. But great show. Yeah. Love that show.
But I watched a show. I watched a show that reminds me of that show. That's similar to that.
What's that show?
I can't remember the name.
Hey man,
I haven't watched it in a while, so it's like I can't
recommendations.
I can't remember the name. I brought it up before.
Make sure you guys check out the show that reminds Fran of the show that he's watching currently. Well, if we remember, don't know the name of that one.
If we remember the show of the other show, it will bring back memories. Now go, oh, I know what it is.
I
now.
doubt it.
I swear,
I doubt
it.
You stand on that? Because now I'll take the time out right now.
Okay.
Okay. No. If you think that if I tell you the name of this show, it was called Misfits. Now you go, Fran.
It was I can't remember it. I can't remember it.
Pump faking like a mug. Anyway, here's our first email from an awesome listener named B. And the reason I said we went on that little rant about Top Boy still is because it's mentioned in her email or their email. Don't really know because B is just a letter, right? Am I right, guys? Anyway, it says, "Hi, Alvin and Fran. I've been missing hearing your Tales from the Hood stories and thought it would be a fun time to share some from a different part of the world. I'm British Nigerian. London born and bred, living in South London, and whenever I hear references to Top Boy from Alvin, I can't help but laugh, especially when Alvin attempts his London accent still." And she wrote "still" in the email. She didn't. My area is quite quiet for the most part, but that does not mean we do not have our fair share of wild escapades. Here are 2 vivid memories I would like to share from my life in my neighborhood, and is what they're describing in these 2 stories that they're sharing from their childhood. Number 1, in May 2013, after a normal day at secondary school, which I would imagine is like high school, my school of 2,400 students were explicitly told to go straight home by our head teachers as there had been an incident in our main town center. Unfortunately, they didn't consider the fact that some students actually lived where the incident had taken place. Later, it was revealed that after getting off the DLR, which is an electric train, a soldier named Drummer Lee Rigby, it's the most British name I've ever heard, a soldier named Drummer Lee Rigby was walking to the army barracks close by and was ran down by a car. When the occupants got out and proceeded to hack him to death in front of the onlookers in broad daylight as a random act of terrorism. Oh, wow. Maybe he was wearing his uniform? That's crazy. That is insane. They just killed a soldier on the street like that and then hit him, ran him over, and then got out of the car and started chopping him up. Jesus Christ.
That's hell. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. The only time a teacher's ever told me go straight home was on 9/11. I remember that so vividly of I was in 5th grade, so somebody being like, the teachers were like, "Hey guys, school's closing early." We're all like, yeah. We're throwing books in the sky. They're like, no. Go straight home. Don't play outside. Don't lollygag. Go home and go in your house. Everybody was like, what the hell is going on? What the heck is going on? I was 10.
Yeah.
What the heck is going on outside? And we did that. And I got home, I turned the TV on and saw the towers were on fire. But a soldier getting killed on the streets of your like neighborhood that's crazy as shit. School should close. So anyway, this happened on a main road in front of a primary school, and my sister, who was 7 at the time, was on a bus on her way back from a school trip, and witnessed the aftermath. So like the ambulances and all the panic. I've attached a link below if you want to look into the story. Well, thank you for that very much, B. Second and last one. Last year on Valentine's Day, I was at the gym minding my own business when I got a call from one of my sisters asking where I was. She needed my help with something. Not 2 minutes later, the police swarmed her building to find the body of a dead woman who had been harassed. They had found the body of a dead woman who had harassed us many times with a single stab wound to her heart.
Wait, why is this the answer? I need help with something.
Yeah, right? What are you trying to say? We're going to definitely keep calling you B because that was a crazy way to set up. Let me finish reading because that's crazy.
Hey,
my sister's
like,
I
need help with something.
I need you.
I
need help with something immediately. And then a dead body was found in her building. Coincidence? I think not. Where were you on the night of last year, B? Anyway, that lady was known to have severe drug problems, but we have always remained friendly whenever we saw her, even though she was, having an attitude with y'all or whatever. It seems like you're trying to cover up for your sister, B. And I see what you're doing. It's transparent as I don't know what, but I'm going to carry on with your story. Anyway, my sister lived across the road from me, so my nosy mother went and watched as the whole thing unfolded. An arrest was made. Not her sister. But we are yet to hear an outcome. And the suspect was released. I've attached a link to that story below as well. Sorry for the super long email. Wasn't a super long email at all. Actually, it was a great amount of email. Sorry for the super long email, but thanks for all that you do and all the joy that you bring to our ears. If you ever do plan on visiting London, please reach out to me. I'd love to take you guys out for a Sunday roast and some great Nigerian food. Would love that. Would love that. I don't know if Nigeria is where they do. Every time I keep seeing these videos where people are eating like, it almost looks like curry, and they have like this ball of dough, and they grab a piece of the dough off with their fingers and then dip that. I don't know if that's Nigerian food.
The guy I follow, him and his wife.
Or jollof rice. I know that's a thing. I've never had it, but it sounds great. People love it a lot.
Yeah, the guy I follow on TikTok, him and his wife, and he was eating something like that. I was like, what is that? He like take the dough,
I think it's
his finger, then like scoop it in the thing. I was like, what is?
I think it's Nigerian food. In every video I've ever seen, they look really happy. It looks like it's delicious.
Yeah. Oh, he was like, oh yeah,
because it's so messy. But yeah, I've never seen a video of people eating that and not being like falling over, basically having like a orgasm, like a food orgasm. And so it makes me think it's delicious, but it looks very messy. But I'm into eating food with my hands. Yeah. Anyway.
Shout out to B though. B, I had to look up the show. The show is called The Outlaws. That's what it's called, The Outlaws. And it's kind of like the premise of the show is similar to
Misfits.
Yeah. Except not the superpower shit. That they don't have the superpowers.
Got it. Okay. Oh, The Outlaws. Okay. Well, we'll be sure to check that out. I gotta check that out.
Before. I don't know.
One last thing B said was, and if you want more stories from life in London, I have a whole memory bank full of them that I'd be happy to share. B, listen. I want to give you mad props, B. That was a straight up fire stories from the end still. You and everybody out there in the UK, hold it down. We appreciate you very much. People say that people here in Baltimore sound a lot like people in the UK. I don't really know if that's true or not, but, we got much love for people on there across the sea. Still stay up. Big up to everybody out there doing their thing. We got a story, this is two stories from a listener named Dominique. Wait. Well, it doesn't say that you can't. Yes, you can say my. Okay, cool. Yes, this is a story from a wonderful listener named Dominique C. And this email is from July, so it got lost in the shuffle a little bit. Also, but before we get into the email, affirmativemurder@gmail.com, folks. Let's get those emails in, especially now that we're going to try to have a consistency with the Monday Thursday switch. We got to have emails ready to go on Monday. So if you have some stories that you find interesting, affirmativemurder@gmail.com. Make sure you put TFTH in that subject line so that we know to tag it and expedite it and make sure it stays at the front of our email information, and so we can get you guys involved. So Tales from the Hood, affirmativemurder@gmail.com. Get them in. Here's one from Dominique. Ready, Fran?
Yeah.
Here we go. Hello, Alvin and Fran. Greetings from Alaska. Ooh. Big up, man. Listen, the affirminators are everywhere. Don't ever forget that. So watch your mouth, John. Anyway, my name is Dominique. Yes, you can say my name. I love listening to you guys on the pod. My husband and I listen to your episodes every time we go on a road trip, which is often. I am resubmitting an old email. I figure it got lost in all the submissions. Very much possible. I appreciate the tenacity, Dominique. I have 2 stories to share with you guys. First story. My husband and I are avid hikers. We plan a big hike at least twice a month and do several small hikes in between. Okay, what are y'all? What is that show that used to be on? Amazing Race? Are you guys Amazing Race contestants? Anyway, with that being said, we've seen several species of wildlife on many occasions, but we've never had an encounter like the time we were attacked by a moose in Chugiak, 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 Alaska.
Yeah,
might be saying that wrong.
Don't fuck with them.
Oh, moose? Yeah. Moose are massive.
And buffalo.
Are buffalo still alive?
Yeah.
I thought white people killed all the buffalo out of spite to the Native Americans.
Sidetrack. There was a video of like this guy. Whenever I see, like, it was one of these videos where this white guy just wanted to be, I want to be the brave guy and I want to show people that I'm tough. And so there's cars going on the road and there's a buffalo blocking the street. So he gets out of his truck and is like, move!
Hey, get out of the road, buffalo!
Move! Bucking at him and stuff. And then like the buffalo was like charging at him but would stop. And then people was like, look at this fucking dumbass. I guess he thought that people were like, oh, look at, he's a hero. But it was like,
right on.
Like, what the fuck are you, what are you doing?
You dumb?
Stop fucking taunting the buffalo.
That's a whole ass buffalo, man.
Wow.
The entitlement in just that sentence of a dude. Imagine being in your car and you see a massive monster in the road and you're like, I have somewhere to be. Yeah. Let me go talk to this guy. And you get out and slam your door and you're like, hey, listen here, buddy.
Move it.
I got bowling practice in an hour, and you need to get out of poof. And they fucking knock you in the air like in those videos where bulls hit rodeo clowns.
Like ragdoll.
You just get fucking flying in the sky. I have a hot sauce making class in 40 minutes. You're gonna stand here and block the flipping in the sky. When those bulls hit those people, they turn into such a pile of laundry. You wouldn't think it was any bones they ever were able to stand up.
It's so easy.
Like, they just start flopping around in the sky like a dummy. It's so crazy. Anyway, so they ran in Chugiak, Alaska. They ran into a moose.
Yeah. Beautiful though. Beautiful animal.
Yeah, I'm sure it was amazing. The big antlers and the long legs, but they were attacked by it. So I'm sure they didn't see the grace and the beauty in it at the time. But maybe after it finished stomping on them. I don't know how the fight went. I don't want to get into it. I don't know if that might not be how they were attacked. But let's get into it. Sometimes you're getting stomped out and stuff goes in slow motion and you're like, man, this is a majestic animal.
What happened?
I don't know. Well, hey, friend, hold on to your hat. Because maybe I don't know. Hat. Oh, man, this guy. Oh, damn. God damn, it's been years since I had this thing. I can never hit the right button.
How long have we been doing this?
I don't know. It's the turquoise button, but I want it to be the
orange.
There
is a paper that comes with the thing, and I told you. Once you write down the stuff
I don't read it.
On the pad, so it's right in front of you.
Yeah, but I don't like to be held to that, because what if I decide to change the whole board? For example, switched out one, now I got this one.
It's a dry erase.
Damn, that's an old one.
It's a dry erase card. It's laminated.
Yeah, listen. All right, man. Listen, I hit the wrong button. You know something that is
embarrassing.
Listen. I like to be able to, freestyle.
But you couldn't do that on cue.
That
was already loaded. You already had your finger on that just now while you were saying it. That wasn't already loaded. That wasn't in the moment.
I tried to force that one because that's one of my favorite sounds right now. But anyway, sorry. Okay, I'm sorry to leave you guys on the cliffhanger. They were attacked by a moose. Let's get back into it. My husband and I decided to take a much-needed vacation with our dog. Oh, the dog was there. After we got home from an 11-month deployment. Are you guys both soldiers of some kind? Salute to you both, and thank you for your service. The drive from where we live to where we were staying was roughly 6 hours, which seems like a long drive, but when you live in a small town with very little entertainment, shops, or restaurants, you find yourself making that trip often.
Absolutely.
We arrived at our rental at around 8 p.m., but since this is Alaska and this was the summertime, we decided to go on our first hike of the trip shortly after unpacking. I guess that means, in the summertime, the sun doesn't go down for a longer time in Alaska. So I think that she's saying. I think she's saying even though it was 8 p.m., it was like plenty sunny left.
Do you get paid there? Is that rumor true? You get paid to live there? I don't know if that's true.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Alaska by landmass is the largest state in the United States, and not a lot of people live there. So but it's also a lot of wildlife. So they might be paying people to come there for but you probably have to be a lumberjack or whatever their industry is. So if you move up there, it's like we got a job for you, and we'll pay you some extra money to live here. That might be true. Some states are doing that. Alaska wouldn't surprise me if that was one of those states. I'm sure Mississippi. Well, Mississippi, like the deep southern states, like the Mississippi. If you're a doctor from another, if you're a doctor from another country or a doctor trying to get stationed, or trying to get placed, those are the ones that open up the quickest. Like you can go be a doctor in Mississippi quicker than you could be a doctor in like New York, because they have more openings. And I think it's more incentives. I could be wrong. I'm not a doctor. But anyway, also Dominique clarifies about the going on hike thing. For those that don't know, the sun never sets in Alaska during the summer months. So even at 1 a.m., it's still bright outside. Hence the infamous nickname, the land of the midnight sun. I know nothing about Alaska, so I didn't even
I never heard.
No, I know nothing. I know I would if you told me it was a moose land, I would have been like, yes, I'm sure that's what Alaska's called.
So do you have like blackout shades? Is that like a thing?
I would imagine that every house has blackout shades, like Vegas too. Like Vegas is a lot like that because you work at night and you sleep during the day. So a lot of houses have super blackout shades all over the house. So Alaska's the land of the midnight sun. However, whether it is bright or not, wildlife is still very active during the night hours. So even if it's 8 p.m. and the sun is out, a moose or whatever is still hunting in their nocturnal way, even if the sun hasn't gone down. Once we arrived at the site, we jumped out of the car and headed up the trail with our dog, Raiden, like from Mortal Kombat. Great name. This trail had incredible views, and we passed less and less people the further we hiked until we were the only ones on the trail. Oh, so they're like...
Kind of like a red flag?
Like experience... No, I think that they just are experienced hikers. Like they go deeper off the trail than other novice hikers might go. So you start to see less people when you do that.
This is a red flag, though.
Yeah, for sure. If I see less people, I'm like, I'm turning around.
I'm not going.
When I go hiking, I like to basically be like I'm on a field trip where it's a line of people in front of me. I'm like walking behind people. Like we're all going to the same thing that we know how to get there and it's easy. Yeah. When I don't see anybody in the woods, I'm scared. Yeah, but yeah, I'm definitely would categorize myself as a novice hiker. But anyway, so it's the husband, wife, and their dog Raiden are out in the woods hiking and seeing less and less people. Captivated by the scenery, we managed to neglect keeping track of the time, and soon enough, it was 12 a.m. But it's crazy because it's still sunny outside. So this is almost like you're in a Twilight Zone type of thing. I don't like this. I never want to look down at my watch and see that it's midnight and the sun is high as hell.
So I guess
not
your body,
moving at all.
Right? Like your body had to get used to that, right?
They live there, so I would imagine so, but I would never get used to that. How do you I would always wake up in a panic.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I would always feel like I'm late. Anyway, as we headed back down, the trail began to tighten again with thick vegetation on both sides. The sun was still up, but significantly lower in the sky. I trailed behind my husband, who was attached at the waist to our dog. Before I could completely catch up, Raiden lunged, snapping and growling at the tree line. My husband yelled for me to get back. The first thing I saw was the tree part down the middle, making way for a massive brown body. The thing knocked a tree down. My heart was in my throat. My first thought was, it's a grizzly. We're fucking dead. Which are an absolute unit everywhere,
wait.
But particularly in Alaska.
I don't care how much of a hiker you could be, pro, whatever, experience. Like, if there's possibilities of bears, moose,
I'm out.
And other type of shit, I was like, why would...
Yeah,
is it the risk, though? Is that the risk that makes it fun? Where you go like...
Well, but I think that when you see a beauty in nature and you want to see beautiful waterfalls and beautiful mountaintops and stuff, I mean, I think that you can convince yourself that, you know, if you stay out of their way, they stay out of yours. But all it takes is like
hungry. Not if they have
pregnant or pregnant, and you just never know.
Yeah,
that's why. Listen. I think if you commit your life to studying sharks and gorillas and all this shit, I'm sure you learn a lot of stuff that I don't know, and I'm sure it's true. But when I see people hugging lions in lion captivity, or people photographing gorillas, silverback gorillas, like in nature, and the gorillas right next to you, But you go, well, as long as you keep your head down and let them touch the palm of your hand and you don't smile at them, then you're fine. Man, that gorilla could just decide at any point, like you're the ops. Yeah. And it's that quick and it's that easy.
And like at work, I see a lot of, when I'm on my route, there's a block where there's a lot of deer. Like a lot of deer pop up. And there was a time where there's a baby. I don't know what the baby deer is called. When they got
a doe.
They got the white spots, like
Yeah, a doe.
So I seen one of them, and then there was some people sitting across the street, and they was looking at me. And I'm walking on the sidewalk, so I go to walk on the street because I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to get too close. They're like, don't be scared of it. And I go like, if
you don't know,
not even that. That's a doe. So usually there's the mom or whatever near. If I get too close and they come and trample me, I mean, they fuck people up. They fuck dogs up and shit. Like,
yeah, they get on their they get on their back legs and start flicking their front ones like they throw hands.
You. They'll like, and I'm like, if I get too close and that mom whatever comes out of nowhere and fuck me up, then I'm fucking y'all up as people who y'all off on the sideline saying don't be scared. Why you scared a little bit? I'm like, all right.
It's just a little baby. It's just Bambi. All right, okay. Let me get some deer tracks on my face because a deer comes out and starts scuffing me up. I'm fighting all of y'all. No. Don't talk to me like you're David Attenborough. Y'all not David Attenborough. Y'all don't know anything about nature.
What wild nah, man. I'm not Dave.
Yeah, people. There's people walking around in the world. I don't know how true it is. I hope I never find out. But there's people walking around in the world never been to aquatic school, marine biology, or anything like that. They're like, well, if you ever get attacked by a shark, just punch it in the nose. We don't know who the hell said that.
How you gonna deal when they ripping your leg off?
How are you gonna punch in the water? How much punching in the water is like when you're having a nightmare. You get in a fight at school. You know you don't got no strength behind those punches. Tell you punch the shark in the nose. With what strength? Anyway, thankfully it was not a grizzly. I probably wouldn't be writing this if it was, but it was a large moose coming to the defense of her two calves, which my dog snapped at before either of us could see them. This may seem like a relief, but keep in mind that more people die from moose attacks than bear attacks in Alaska.
What?
Yeah, moose are not a thing to fuck around with, man. This is mainly because people don't know how dangerous they are. So they are generally not respected as an animal that could essentially chop you up with razor sharp hooves.
They really look like they're high and mighty and superior females.
I would think so.
Legs, they sit all tall and got the little beautiful
and their antlers are so wide. Yeah, the one in the Bass Pro Shops, they always look amazing. I've never seen one in person, but the stuffed ones, I wouldn't fuck with that. And I also wouldn't. I don't think you know how you see. Sometimes I'm driving in my neighborhood. There's deer in my neighborhood too. So sometimes I'm driving and I'll see a deer, and sometimes I might just stop the car because it's like five of them. They look like they're kicking it, like talking. Yeah, having conversations. However deer do. They're all having a conversation. So I might stop and just be like, "Oh, look at some deer."
I speed up.
I don't think if I saw a moose, I'd be like, "Yeah." You chase him, you run him over.
Yeah.
Hey, oh, okay. Yeah, you live on the dangerous side.
Dangerous.
Trying to catch dinner.
Yeah.
But I don't think that if I saw a moose, it would be that I would be scared. I don't think I'd be like, oh, a moose, because they're so big.
I would stop for sure.
I don't fuck with anything big. I don't care how cute it is. If it's big, I don't think it's cute.
Yeah.
And moose are huge. Matter of fact, they go into Dominique goes into detail. So anyway, now back to the scene. When I say that this moose was massive, it towered over my 5'9" husband. And for perspective, the average female Alaskan moose weighs around 840 pounds and stands nearly 6.5 to 7 feet tall at the shoulders.
Jesus.
So not standing up on all fours, they are from between 6.5 to 7 feet tall on all four legs. That's terrifying.
Right there.
That's as big as Shaq. They're as tall as Shaq standing up on 2 feet on 4 feet. Anyway, when she first jumped out of the wood line, she shocked my husband. She knocked my husband over and began to trample both him and my dog, barely missing their bodies with each step.
Goodness.
I began throwing anything I could.
Water bottle and shit.
I began throwing anything I could get my hands on and screaming for her to leave. Screaming what?
Yeah, stop.
Get out of here, Moose. They don't speak English, Dominique. Get out of here. Leave.
Yeah, the same tactic for bears don't work with moose where you got like act big. They throw your arms up and yell. That don't work.
Man, listen. Again, who said that's true? These are all things that you know how dumb you look getting.
I heard, man.
You know how dumb you look getting killed by a bear, and you go, get out. You got your arms in the sky, and they just go, and scratch across your chest, and now your heart's out of your body and your guts are on the ground. One swipe and you're dead from a bear. But listen, all these things, I'm sure there's a lot of other things. If you know a thing that somebody told you from another person about an animal and how to defeat it, please email us that too.
That'd be good.
You know, if you see a bobcat,
that'd be fun.
Yeah, if you see a bobcat, you know, if you bark like a dog, they're scared of dogs because they're cats. So then a bobcat will.
Oh, you want to know?
Lock
I got
onto
another
you.
one. If you get bit by an alligator, you're supposed to spin the same way
With
when
it.
they do their little tumble.
And how you supposed to know which way is clockwise and counterclockwise? You go the
whatever
wrong way.
Whatever way your leg is twisted, you turn that way.
Go that way too. You're trying to roll around with the damn alligator on your leg.
Supposed to do the roll with the death roll. Whenever they do their death roll, that's when you're supposed to roll the same.
You
way.
roll with them. Yeah. Don't try to lock it in because it'll shred you off. Now that is true.
That is true.
I mean, listen, if an alligator gets a hold of your arm, you just better hope you get your arm back. But the best way for you to try to preserve that is to try to spin with it because they're trying to spin to yank it off, whatever they have in their mouth.
Got another one?
So that's all I got right now. But some people will send us in the list, I'm sure. There's people out there that know stuff. I'm not the only one that watches David Attenborough documentaries. Anyway, so back to the drama. Dominique's husband and dog are being attacked, and she's screaming for her life and throwing things at a moose. I was thinking, how the hell was I going to somehow fireman carry my husband back to the car if he was injured? Raiden was biting the moose's legs, pulling my husband further underneath her while he struggled to detach the leash and dodge her quick, deadly stomps. So the dog is doing its best to protect the owner, but it's a moose, and I don't think that the dog is winning, but everybody's putting up the best fight that they could. At this point, he unbuckled himself from the leash, meaning Raiden. My dog was determined to protect us, even though this situation was kind of his fault to begin with, LOL, because the dog started this whole thing, kicking off beef with these baby moose. So he continued to lunge and snap at the moose. Raiden may be 80 pounds, which is a big dog, but moose kill wolves in defense on a regular basis. So he was clearly outmatched. My husband crawled back towards me, pulling Raiden by his leash. I helped him up and grabbed the leash and ruck from him. Then we started to run in the opposite direction. The calves were at a safe distance, but the mom then charged at us again. Because now it's mad. Now the moose is mad. And y'all done fucked up. Y'all in my territory. Y'all on the wrong block. And so it's up for y'all. It's beef forever, you know? Even though the calves are now no longer near them, the moose is still angry and ready to fight. It's very Zeus network of it all. You know, the whole thing is very Zeus network. All of this happened in a matter of seconds. However, we were stranded for an additional 45 minutes. Each time my husband would check to see if the trail was safe, she would chase him back up.
Well, the moose?
So the moose cornered them and didn't go away for a while. After waiting a bit longer, I decided to walk down the trail alone, hoping she would find me to be less threatening. Somehow I was able to get her off the trail by walking towards her and talking in a loud and low voice. Who told you to do that? But it worked, right? So, hey, guys, listen to Dominique. If you run into a moose, go, hey, get out of here now. Don't come back here. I mean it. Don't come back here. I guess that's the way to scare off a moose. So we can add that to the list. Now we've now established one of our own of how to scare animals off, talking a loud and deep voice to a moose. Once she was gone, we sprinted down the trail and back to the car. The 6-mile rocky trail was suddenly no match for our adrenaline. Oh, I would have been booking it too. Although it was close to 2 a.m. at this point, we saw a woman with her kids in the parking lot about to head to the nearby lake. I told her about the incident and that she should avoid that area, and she casually said, oh yeah, someone got mauled by a wolverine yesterday on that trail. Is Alaska like Australia where everything's trying to kill you?
Then.
Yeah. And the way she's like, oh, a moose? Oh, yeah. A wolverine killed somebody yesterday. A moose is nothing. So I'm picturing this lady and her husband like at the end of a horror movie. Oh my God, no, put the kids back in the car. We just got attacked by a moose. And she's like, yeah, a moose. Anyway. And she continues to unpack the car to take her kids on a hike at 2:00 in the morning. Sun's out. Even this Alaskan people are different because it's still 2 a.m. So she proceeded to her and her family proceeded to unpack the car. Alaskans really don't give a fuck. They're here for a good time, not a long time. LOL. We got in the car and talked about how lucky we were to leave that situation unscathed, and we both laughed as my husband said, I didn't survive missiles just to come home and be killed by a damn moose. Man, shout out to your husband, because that's a badass thing to say. I wish I could. I wish I could say tough lines like that. That's very Arnold Schwarzenegger of a thing to say. I survived missiles, don't not come home and get killed by a damn moose. I know what you guys are thinking. 1, fuck visiting Alaska. And 2, I'm never going hiking. This was a pretty traumatic experience, but the last thing I want to do is discourage people from hiking and being in nature. This was 100% our fault for not being more prepared and also not waiting until morning to do a 6-mile trail. But you can't learn a lesson until it's taught. Oh man, both of y'all are y'all like inspirational. You can't learn a lesson until it's taught. That's fine. You can't learn it if it's not taught to you. And sometimes the lesson is experience. That's the best teacher. Anyway, so you can't. Yeah, all right. You know I'm long-winded. Anyway, so I'm like, and let me make it a longer metaphor. Let me add a. What was the first lesson? Let there be light, and then there was light, but you couldn't know what light was until you saw what it has become. So you can't learn a lesson until it's taught. And since then, we have been over the top prepared for any encounter during our hikes and doing everything right. Also, you're probably wondering why we didn't use the mace canister when the moose repeatedly chased my husband back up the hill.
That's about to be my next question.
The mace canister in the rucker or in the ruck. Yeah, why didn't you use that? This is because once you deploy bear mace, you have to get out of the area ASAP, as the scent will actually attract bears to your location, which would be awful for the baby moose since the mom would be impaired, leaving them all defenseless. So it's always
chain reaction, would, huh? So, but it's not. So yeah. It's bear mace. Is that just what it's called, or it's just?
It's bear mace. But why would I want anti bear mace? Why would I want mace that you spray and then it brings more bears? I don't understand. So you spray it. Okay. So let's just, we're two dudes. We don't go hiking. We're more like glampers. We like to stay in cabins with Wi-Fi and refrigerators and stuff. I like to be in the woods, but like it's indoors. So for what this person just said, Dominique just said to us, Fran, and correct me if I'm wrong. If you heard the same thing. They just said that if you spray bear mace, bears come to the mace. So if I'm getting attacked by a bear, I spray the bear mace to blind the bear, and then his homies come?
Yeah. As
backup. You blind the bear.
I think it's just for an immediate escape.
Sure. Okay. So you spray, but don't stick around, because the homies are coming. And now they come. Their homies, Mace got blind. He's got Mace in his eye. He's blind. He's angry, and they're like, "It was them right there."
That's not like blood to a shark. Like it just.
Yeah, like it must be like some kind of bear pheromone in it, a baromone, if you will. Must be some kind of baromone in it, and it attracts the bears from nearby. So I didn't know that. When you spray bear mace, get up out of there. I feel like that was that big old racist Dog the Bounty Hunter. I feel like bear mace was his specialty. He would spray people with it.
Black people?
But he also lived in Hawaii, so there's no bears.
Black people with it?
Oh, of course.
No, of course. That's the only people he sprayed with it.
Exclusively. That was black people, bears. They're both black. You know, like whatever. So yeah, I think that's what Dog the Bounty Hunter probably thought. Anyway. So yeah. So if you spray bear mace, you got to get the hell up out of there immediately. And so they didn't want to hurt the moose by spraying the mom and leaving her blind, and then having a bunch of bear come and eat them while the mom was blind.
I love nature.
That's nice. I wouldn't be thinking about that.
But that's not my concern. My concern is
I'd be like, fuck this moose. Shh. I'm spraying everybody. The baby
double
moose.
Can sprays. I'm in circles.
Oh, yeah, I'm going 2 cans of Kimbo. Fuck these moves. I'm not worried about the bears come. I'm trying to get up out of here. Nah, but I appreciate their love of nature for them to go, I don't want this family of moose to be killed when it was our fault. But I wouldn't have thought like that. I'd have sprayed those moose with extreme prejudice with bear mace for sure. Oh, and she also added, and it would be incredibly dangerous for us too, of course, because the bears would come. I attached a photo, and I attached a photo I managed to get from a safe distance of one of the calves looking at us like, oh, you want some more?
There's a picture?
And,
can I see it?
Yeah, I'm gonna
send it to you. You can throw that in the chat, right? You can't throw that in this thing we got right here set up?
Can I? Let me see.
Setup we got here? Do you have the picture saved? Save the picture to your computer.
I got it. It's on my desktop. So, okay, you walk me through
it. Go to present at the bottom.
Okay.
I thought you.
Yeah, Fran. Yeah. Teach me. Okay.
Recent savvy than I was.
No, not at all.
You can't. I just told you how to upload the picture.
Man, I don't know how to do anything. Okay.
Man, if you save it, look, man. Oh my.
No,
So
get your phone.
complicated.
Get your phone.
So
Get your
complicated.
phone.
My
Get your
phone's
phone.
right here. I got
Get
my
your phone. Get your phone. How do I pull up text?
Pex. Oh,
Text. Pull your email up. Pull your email up. Oh my God. Pull your email up. All right. Pull your email up.
Send me the picture in the email. God damn, man. It's not that complicated. Send me the damn picture in the email, man.
Some beautiful pictures, though. Dominique, beautiful pictures. Also, there's a picture of their dog. Fran, you just can't see. I'm going to send that to you later, too. Beautiful dog, Raiden. Gorgeous pictures of Alaskan wilderness. Shout out to Dominique. I'm going to actually, there's 2 stories in this. I'm going to save it for next time because the first one was so good. I want to leave on that note and finish things off. Did you get the email? You see the baby moose? I don't know if that other one is the big moose, the mom. Yeah. Those are they look pretty big. They also look cute. They don't have hooves. Or horns, or what do they call it? Antlers? They don't have antlers, it doesn't look like.
Because I'm going to pull up so we can have it in front of us.
Oh, you know how to do it?
Yeah, man. It's not as...
Oh, school, show me. It's so easy. Show me how easy it is to just do it. You're doing a lot of talking. I'm not seeing a lot of happening.
Give me a second. You got to give me a second.
Okay. You didn't give me any seconds, and that's probably why I wasn't able to do it, because you're putting a bunch of pressure on me.
Wait, I don't know how to save the... I don't know how to save the photo.
Mm-hmm.
I can't save the photo. If you was able to save the photo, I can't. It won't let me save the photo.
Whatever you say, man. Hey, listen, friend.
I can't
let's
save
make
the
sure
photo, man.
Everything's easy till it's time for you to go, right? I want to make sure I let people know affirmativemurder@gmail.com. As I stated at the top of the show, Mondays are Thursdays and Thursdays are Mondays now. Mini-sodes will be out on Monday, and our regular episodes will be out on Thursday. We're very excited. The story, just give people a preview and a heads up. This week, we are covering the story of Kwame Wilson. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Kwame? Anyway, Young QC is his rap name that he goes by. A crazy story. If you look up Young QC on YouTube, you'll find a bunch of crazy content that this person has created, and we're going to dive into their story this week on Thursday, so be looking for that. We're excited to give a little switch up and be able to stretch things out so that we can both, take care of our personal lives and continue to give you guys the content that we want to give you. So again, Mondays are Thursdays, Thursdays are Mondays. affirmativemurder@gmail.com. Get those emails in the subject line. We need that TFTH so we know to tag that, put a star in it, flag it, whatever have you. So we put that at the front of the emails, and then we know when it's time for us to do another TFTH episode. We have them ready to go and read. A shout out to Dominique and shout out to B. Thank you guys for awesome emails. Still amazing listeners. Affirminators are the best in the nation. We got the best fan base out there. We are a small but mighty army, and we got mad food coming your guys' way, man. Thursday, we got mad things coming. The food's hitting the street, getting mad peas out here still. Fran, do you have any lessons that you learned between the interesting Nigerian comments from B and, well, not that her comments were Nigerian, but I don't know why I said that. She is a Nigerian person who offered us Nigerian food. Her comments were not Nigerian, but they're just, I don't know what I'm trying to say. B's comments and Dominique's comments, what was the lesson that you learned from this episode?
Don't fuck with wild animals. Stay away from wild animals, man.
Big time, yeah. Well, Dominique wanted to make it clear that she was not saying stay out of the woods. She is avid in nature and thinks that that's a beautiful
For
place.
Sure.
So she wasn't, but definitely stay away from the animals.
Keep your distance.
And also, you don't know shit. How about that? I think that's for me in our conversations. Like, you don't know shit. Don't think if you see this animal, I guess you got to do what you got to do to survive. So you got to pull out whatever thing's coming to your brain at the time. But don't be confident. Like, hey guys, I got this. I know there's a bear over there. Let me go ahead and shake this can of rice that I brought with me because I hear that they hate the sound of a can of rice shaking.
If you go to them and then beat on your chest.
They think you're a gorilla, and then they...
No, they'll think you're allies, and they'll leave you alone.
Oh, yeah, I'm also a gorilla.
Yeah.
You just pretend to be a gorilla, and then you got to be like Andy Serkis in Planet of the Apes. You just really embody a gorilla, and then they will think you are a gorilla, and then leave you alone.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, your dick's coming off, ripped off, each one of your fingers individually ripped off. They're just being tossed around the woods. And you were so confident just 5 seconds ago before all that happened to you. Yeah. Your nose is now gone off your face.
Now you're into pieces.
You're
torn into pieces.
Now you're torn up. You're all torn up, and you thought you knew what was going on. I think that's an R&B song. Anyway, guys, listen, be safe out there. We'll catch you guys next time. affirmativemurder@gmail.com. This has been another Affirmative Murder mini-sode. Thank you guys so much.
Deuces.